Hi, sorry, I took a bite of the blueberry scone, and ooh, it's good. I need to heat it up though. Just not right now. Sorry, I got a little peckish while I was starting on this ginormous big boy here because I realized I might or might have not sealed it with like the top glaze. So I started in advance so I'm not overwhelmed because like you see in my thumbnail, I have the other, well, here's a part of it because it's too big, it's too chunky. And the only thing is, where do I put this? Oh no, did I put glaze on my leg? Oh, I think I did. I don't look like that parent at school that always changes clothes. I don't know why I always have these weird hang-ups. But I just put glaze on my pants and it looks questionable. So I have to probably just put some water to get rid of it or change my pants entirely. So sorry, this is going to be kind of wobbly. And I cut myself last night by accident while I was trying to open a birthday gift from my mom. Oh, I'll live. So yes. Oh gosh, there's bubbles. That's what I need. More bubbles. For some reason, I can't open this. I think the one time I dropped it and a good chunk of the stuff got wasted. I was so mad that day. I think the seal, the cap, and the seal got stuck together, and now I can't open it. So I'm like, oops. So now I can only open from here, unfortunately. So I guess it was meant to be like that. And I just try to spread everything from the center and hope I don't make my desk too gross, but what else is new? I already made my pants gross, apparently. And yep, it is what it is. But thankfully, I already had a head start, like I mentioned, so I can wait for this to dry off camera, and then I can resume with the other pumpkin that I'm currently working on. This actually started since last year where I purchased the pumpkin at the Target, and it was already, I think they were starting to put their things away, and I grabbed one of the last pumpkins to probably most likely paint originally, but turns out my kid wanted me to carve it. Another one. I carved one before. I hated it, and so I had to figure out, okay, so what am I going to do this time around since he wants me to carve it? Usually with classic pumpkins, I assume, at least in the U.S., we do the typical carving of the pumpkins. We would have to deal with the inevitability of the pumpkin rotting after it's carved. That's why while I love carving pumpkins, that shit rots. And so it is kind of funny taking pictures of the rot in process and the fur, moldy fur coming out. Yes, it looks like moldy fur. But then all that hard work you did to cut open the pumpkin, make a sketch and carve it out and all that stuff just to throw it away. That seems rather counterproductive, especially if it's something you really liked and then it goes to mush. Like, what's the point of doing this? So that's why with craft pumpkins, especially you put something on the pumpkin, like either paint like what I did or you carve like what I or other people would do, and you like the results, you can keep it forever, apparently, or make it a gift, or etc., etc. So that's what I was going for with that kind of work. Oh, I just hope I don't put varnish in my milk. I'll be so upset. Yes, I have milk, and I'd be upset if I did that. I don't think anything fell in unless it tastes. God, please don't. Okay, I think that's still milk. Okay. Yeah, and now there's varnish yucks on there, so that's what I need. More yucks. Okay, so actually, should I do that on my pants? But that's just hand sanitizer, so I don't know if it'll do. Usually, what I did was with just basic water, so it should be fine. Okay. Let me see if it works on my pants before I get on to. Actually, let me put out the big. Actually, let's put this one here. And then this sucker here. Yes, this guy. Now let me get at my pants. I don't mean that in any other way than just scrubbing off whatever glaze I left on there. Please don't make fun of me. I do that myself. Okay. Okay, good thing is it comes off. Bad thing is there's some extra dander from the paper towel, but it's very obvious that I was wiping there. Lovely, lovely. Looks like I cannot control my bowels. Anyway, this guy, however, is a whole other story. I saw some reference where they have some darkened areas, and I think I should have done a kind of sand work on the surface area of the pumpkin because it is too smooth for it to do a dry paintbrush on here, and so it looks too sleek for me. That's why I think it's a little fake looking, but at the same time we'll figure something out. These here I just used Gorilla Glue. I could have done the typical hot glue. It's just I don't know where I put the thing. When I have the hot glue gun, I store it away and then I forget. And then when I actually need it some years later, I don't know where it went. And so I'm still also debating whether or not I think this one broke. Shoot. Can I glue it back? Maybe. Probably not. Okay, so now I am going to use slightly, this is not that much darker, unfortunately. But, okay, I can use an ugly brush, so it's not like a total, I need to do another wash cleaning brush day, unfortunately. While I do have a lot of brushes, a lot of them that I use eventually also just have, I try to not get them dirty, but they just don't want to listen to me. Anyway, let's start painting. Stop talking. Okay, so I also want to get this dark. Originally, I meant for this to be blood, but maybe, no, if it was dried blood, it wouldn't make sense. It wouldn't, I'd have to make it more red. I'm not sure what this brown stuff is, but for now, let's just put it on for something. It's not poo. Actually, just to be on the safe side, let me put my milk away so I don't put stupid stuff on it. I think. Oh gosh. Or I haven't had that incident where I mistake my milk or my drink for paint water cups. I have yet to have that problem. And I don't want that to be a new thing for me. Okay. Because I have a sensitive tummy. Anyway. So even if I do make blobs around the drips, it should not be too bad. I can just paint over the rest later. And I do need some dark base painting anyway, so it's fine, I guess. Kind of, it looks like chocolate though. Let's hope it's chocolate. If it's something else, oh my gosh, recently I've been running around, as the title says, like the headless chicken. Since like about a week or two ago, I've been trying to do like a handful of errands with bills involved, or getting things for my kid, because I realize a lot of his books he likes are very like way too young, and he needs more. I did have some, but I don't know where they went. I know I had one for Halloween, and then it went somewhere, and I can't find it. And there was some other books. I don't know what happened. So while I can't find them, I need them for his homework. So I would be going out buying books like crazy, but I also try to find books he likes. You can't just buy whatever books and then assume he's going to like it. I have to buy things he actually likes. That makes sense, right? You wouldn't want to buy something and then you go home and they're like, I ain't reading this. I'd be so mad if I ever got that. But yeah, I was trying to find things for his homework, as well as finding things to donate to the school every once in a while. And birthdays were happening. So this is now encroaching into this week where I was looking for birthday gifts, because once Well, there's also August. My husband and my niece has a birthday, but I try to look for gifts. But my gosh, it's really hard finding gifts the older you get. And so I would be able to find gifts for my nieces and nephews, whereas for people within my age range and up, well, I'm easy to please. Just give me art supplies, and you can buy me duplicates, and I will still use it. So that's the joy and perk about having art as an interest, at least. Even if you get duplicates, that works in your favor. You can use some more of that paint, and I don't have a problem. The only other thing is, if you want something outside of art supplies that don't always have to involve you having to make your own gift, essentially, you have to let people know. And some, like, where's the fun of that? And it's like, well, I can't read your mind. But yeah, like, it depends on how long you've known that person, you know? And so it's like, come on, you know me this long. You can't even, but like, I don't even know if you even have that. It's like, even if it's duplicates, I don't care. I can still customize it. I can still use it. It doesn't mean like, oh, I got another one of these. Well, you're terrible. You know, I'm not like that. All right. If I was, first, that'd be kind of funny. Second, then I'd be like, man, you're a jerk. And I don't want to come off like that, you know? So anyway, funny enough, the Halloween section has been delayed. I would think, I remember in past years, they were quite on top of their Halloween, the early Halloween merch game. And then this time around, they were quite late. I was like, oh, what's going on here? But then they just started putting out the Halloween party supplies and candy since maybe like over the weekend, but they're very, very slow with it. And I was like, oh, what's up with that? Only yesterday when I went out to try to do birthday shopping, were they finally getting into the decorations, but again, very slowly. So I was like, well, I can't hang around here like, where's the ornaments? Where are they? Oh, you know. And then they show up with just normal candy, you know, like, what the fuck? Like a crazy person who's addicted to Halloween. I can't, I don't know. Not liking Halloween. There's nothing wrong with that, and having, you know, you enjoy and love Halloween. I love Halloween too. Okay. Don't get me wrong. It's just sometimes we do get a little bit crazy with some of these decorations. Like, we need to chill out a bit. And during this trip to the birthday gift search hunt, I don't know, I can't sentence sometimes, I realized, oh, there's a makeup shop. My family, the people I'm buying birthday gifts for, they like putting stuff on their face. Like, what? Why do I? So I just said that out, a little bit out loud, but not around people. Sometimes I do talk to like, it's normal to talk to yourself, but not in a way where you're talking as if you're another person. Not like that. It's like mental notes that you just say out loud. I don't know about if other people do that. I do that sometimes, but I make sure there's no one around me. And then like, oh, shoot. Oh, there's Sephora. Right. My insert family member here likes putting stuff on their face. And then I just started like laughing a little bit to myself. Like, why would I say it like that? I think it's because, like I mentioned, I was mostly around my brothers and to some degree my dad. And sometimes how things come out when we say things sound like, what the fuck was that all about? And that was one of those moments, like putting stuff on your face. Like, what? Because as I mentioned, I'm not very keen on makeup. I don't even know how to put makeup on my face. The only times I have was really Halloween and the rare special occasion I felt like I had to. And it's not like a joyous occasion usually. It might just be, say, a funeral or probably Halloween. That was the only two I actually did put makeup on, unfortunately. But it is what it is. And plus, I have oily skin. And so it's not a good feeling having that on all day and having to reapply in the bathroom. Not to mention if, yeah, you know, my face can get itchy, and then I scratch off or rub off some of that foundation and primer or whatever thing I have on my face, and I have to go back to the bathroom and put it back on. And there's no guarantee I can get it on right. Like, you know, I don't. So at most, I just have Blistex and sunscreen and some kind of oil-free lotion, and then I'm done because I cannot with my face. Plus, if I don't pick the right ingredients, my face could break out. I tried something the other day from, again, the Target, and then I thought, okay, those are the ingredients they would always recommend because skincare does fly in my radar every once in a while. And so I try it, and then my face broke out. Like, what the fuck? Why does it work for everyone but not for me? And I would tell myself, as someone with oily but normal skin, and yet the ingredients beg to differ. So once I stopped using it entirely and just washed my face like a normal person, then it was basically back to normal. So, okay, don't touch that stuff again. And that's the downside about trying to find skincare for you. If it doesn't work out, you have to throw it away. And it's a waste of money. Thankfully, it was not very expensive, so that was a good thing. So maybe that was why. Oh, yeah, right, Sephora. So I haven't been to Sephora, not including yesterday. Like the last time I went to Sephora was, I don't even know if I'm pronouncing it right, but I'm just gonna say as I think it's pronounced. I haven't been there since roughly 2008. I wish I was joking. So I went there not because I had to, it's because for support for my friend who was going on her first date with a guy that she met at, I think, an anime convention, something like that. And she wanted to look good for her first date. And me being a jerk, I was like, oh gosh, this again, because she was always gushing about her looking forward to her first date. And yes, I was the butt. I was the big smelly butt. I was there for support in physically, in I'm there in presence, but my mind was being a butthole because I had no experiences with dating at the time. So I was also, like I mentioned, I was raised around my brother, so I treated it like a joke in a way, like, okay, here we go again. Looking back, I regret being like that. But at the same time, I had virtually no knowledge of makeup outside of the Halloween costume department. And so I just hung around there. I didn't remember, though, when I entered the store yesterday of Sephora, I didn't realize it was really pungent, really strong with their scents, a multitude of scents. I don't know if people notice it, but I think it's because I never went there since 2008, in such a long time, that when I went in, the biggest waft of multiple smells, synthetic smells or what have you, just busted me in the face, and I was already reeling. I was dizzy, and I was like, I gotta do this for my family. So I just went on in and tried to look at the prices, and oh my god, what the heck? Like, okay, maybe like I saw like makeup palettes for like $88, $59. I think the cheapest was maybe $39.99, and it was like a very small thing you can get at Walgreens for $10. Like, what the fuck? And I was trying to not sound mortified or gasp out loud, like, oh my god, what is this? And then I remembered it some while ago on YouTube, they talk about how 10-year-olds purchase things from Sephora. Like, whose parents are giving these kids money to shop there? Like, even like a single tube of lipstick was like $33 or some other. I'm like, what? Take your money back. Oh my god. No. Why is your 10-year-old? Take them out of there. What the fuck are they doing there? Get them out. You want to keep your money. Don't bring them in there. What's going on with you? So I looked around. The packaging is nice, but those smells, those were a total nightmare for me because I am already sensitive to smells, and especially manufactured synthetic cosmetic smells are the worst for me because it sends my head reeling. I am dizzy as hell, and it's a person who's easily dizzy's nightmare. So I could only withstand what I could for 5 minutes. The only good thing I thought that was nice was some people, the clerks were really nice. Like, oh, did you find anything nice? I was like, oh, that's all right. I'm still looking. And I had to try not to have like dizzying, swirly eyes. But, it was nice of them to offer help. So I think they could tell I've never been in there before. But I just looked to see what they had, silently cry at the crazy prices. I was like, okay, maybe let's just buy brushes for the makeup. that should be fine. The lowest was like $40 for like a really small set. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, never mind. And then I looked at the lipsticks for the heck of it. Like, okay, I can do lipstick at least, right? And I saw some of the testing areas, and this is near the front of their entrance. Some of them look like some women took a bite out of the lipstick. Like, it looks like someone took a big chunk with their teeth on some of the lipstick samples. And I was like, oh my God, what the hell? It goes on the lips, not in your mouth. Okay. I thought we didn't have to say this to some women in adulthood, but apparently some of them eat it. It looks like at least 3 women took a bite of the lipstick, thought about it, and then walked away. I'm like, oh my gosh. I don't know. I don't know. So after that, I was like, okay, that's it. I'm good. And then I just bolted. I did not want to. I did not want to. So yeah, that was my 5-minute trip of Sephora. And I do like the packaging and the look of their, what the lipstick looks like when it's not bitten into, but at the same time, it's not for me. And I could a lot of that money can just go to my art supplies, and I'm down for that. And this looks really gross. It looks like poop. Okay, so maybe this time around I could, oh no, I need to do this side too. Great. Wait, do I have, actually this is based off of, hold on. I also do felted sheet crafts. This is based off of this, and they left. This pumpkin here. These ones, this is yuck. This one's not too bad, but I don't like how the yellow turned out. But this one is the best one of the bunch, I believe. And I liked how this turned out a lot. I tried to translate it into a real pumpkin. It did not work out too well because I started already without even looking at this ornament. But whatever. It's still okay-ish. Not the best, but I don't hate it too much, at least. So I think that's a compliment. I don't hate you that much. The hell. So yeah, I also was looking for gifts in the mall, and I realized, like, my gosh, it mostly caters to teens, to 20-somethings, kids, babies. As you get older, like maybe in the 30s, but then when you start reaching into the 50s, 60s, 70s, and so on, it gets a bit harder. And I was like, okay. All right, this is interesting. So yeah, I kind of struggled looking for gifts for the older people, whereas the younger ones, it was pretty good. Just I did not want to give really, cause the other thing is nowadays a lot of kids want more expensive things, and I don't want to enable that too much. So I try to get things that like art supplies as well, because I do know they also are into art. And I try to encourage that more, at least, because I like what I do. I think that's basically the ultimate thing. Like, as long as you enjoy what you do and you're patient with it, money involved or not, that is fine. But I do know when money is involved, it gets a lot less fun because you have to draw for what other people want. And that does not necessarily mean you'll like all of the projects that they request from you. They'll be asking you things that you never drew before. They'll be asking you things that you have little to no interest or knowledge about. And there's no guarantee that you may like what you're going to make. But at the same time, money's money. I might as well take it. So that's the thing with money. You may like, oh, money isn't everything. You can't. Yes, it does. Money can buy you everything. Money helps you out of unearth you from poverty and all that stuff. But the other thing is you have to know how to use it properly. Otherwise, you can lose that money as fast as you earned it, right? So anyway, I just do hobbies. So what do I know? But at the same time, that doesn't mean I didn't dabble in certain things with involving trying to start things. And yeah, oh my gosh, chocolate everywhere. The chocolate pumpkin. Okay, this one, I'll start to do the orange finally. Where's I still have the other orange paint in now. I don't want to open the new one, but I guess I kind of have to now. I'll just see the front at first and then see what goes on from there. 24 minutes, not too bad. Yeah, this top coat that I did on the other pumpkin, it takes a bit longer to dry, but when it does, it has a much nicer sheen and shine compared to the Mod Podge. Because I think I tried it on another pumpkin and it was just okay. But then when I used the Liquitex version, it's a lot nicer looking, I noticed. So yeah, I have to use that now. Oh no, this is ugly. But yeah, I try to do other things outside of just flat, I'm not saying flat, but like art that is 2D or on paper or digital. Like, yeah, I know. It's one thing where, oh, okay, you can just print it out on mugs and cards and all this stuff. I'm not poo-pooing on that. I think just with me, I tend to want a little bit more, but not enough for me to invest in, like, say, a 3D printer, though that actually sounds really interesting. It's just I have to do all the introductions and basics on how to do the things and the math and all the. I'm not very smart at that. It sucks to admit, but it is what it is. But at the same time, though, it would be something interesting to dabble in the future. Just right now, I have so many projects. I don't know if I even have time to do that. In combination with real life boring stuff. But for now, I just want to focus on stuff that is within my control, within my capabilities. Oh, this is really orange. But I need this one. Surprisingly, this cheap apple barrel paint is a lot more opaque than the stuff I got at Target. So yeah. I have some other ones my brother has. I should probably check that out, but I don't feel like getting up from my chair. I just want to see how it is. There's going to be a lot of layers here, so it might look bumpy, chunky, but for this kind of pumpkin surface, it works. Because pumpkins are not exactly smooth surface areas either, so you can get a pass for that. But if that's the look you're going for, where you want the pumpkin to be perfect, well then maybe this is for you then. That's totally fine. I want to do blood, but I do have a kid and I don't want to freak him out. There's also dark red, dried blood, but dried blood tends to be dry and crusty, so that doesn't make sense. It would make sense here, but then this would still have to be like maybe a dark red, but not like a dried blood red. Sorry, this is me trying to figure out the technicalities of how accurate the blood should be on a pumpkin. And why is there a pumpkin munching on blood in the first place? I have to entertain myself to keep myself not bored, if no one talks to me. Okay. Anything else I can talk about? I did write something and then I was like distracted with at least 5 other things. And then I remembered I had scones in my fridge and then I was eating and then it was 11 a.m. Okay, so yeah, yesterday, like I mentioned, I was running around like crazy trying to get a whole bunch of things, from clothes for my kid to myself, because I realized I don't have much. I always wear the same things, and maybe to some degree it still makes me young. I don't know, but I figured, okay, let's try something else. I finally caved in and bought those baggy ass jeans. I used to wear that when I was like ages 12 to 22, maybe. Yeah, I was really big on baggy jeans. Not the well-known ones that are ginormous that you could fit a laptop into the pocket. Not that bad, but quite the wide leg jean. I liked looking cool over feminine at the time. It looked a lot more casual, looked a lot more fun. I just liked the style at the time. So when the style came back again and seeing a whole bunch of preteens, teens, and young 20-year-olds wearing the same stuff I wore as a preteen in the 90s and 2000s, it was weird. It was so weird. And then I thought to myself, I don't want to go back to wearing that. But then I think the reason is discounts. When I saw one of the pants as discounts and it was marked down pretty well, and I was like, oh, then whatever mindset I had flew out the window and I bought it. but yet when trying it on, it looks like it gives me elephant legs. I was like, what the fuck? But I think if I don't take things too seriously, it's not too bad. But what I also don't like about the wide leg pants is they're not tapered down at the ankle or some other, and then they drag on the ground. The cuffs of the pants drag on the ground as you walk, and it collects dirt and grime from the floor, the sidewalks, the streets, people who piss and spit and poop, and all that collects on the bottom of your pants. So that was what I realized eventually, like why I did not want to wear those pants anymore. Thankfully, the ones I got, if I wore chunky or slightly bigger shoes, it's doesn't touch the ground as much, so it's that I don't mind. So if that is solved, then I don't mind wearing them a little bit, but not too much, because it also looks like it's a cry for help. But I think it also helps that I'm short, so it's not as obvious, I think. But once in a while is fine. I think if for me to sound like a cry for help, I have to start using that lingo that those preteens use and the teenagers and like the internet talks. I can't do that. I try not to do that too much unless I say it in jest. I say it as a joke, or I say something to make them understand, and then that's it. I don't want to make that into my speech. You have no idea how many people I've heard that are like even older than me using dead ass snow cap. I'm like, oh my god. And you hear like a legit adult older than me, and I'm old, say that. Like, oh, my heart hurts. Oh my gosh. It's like, oh my god, why do you have to say that? Please stop saying that. Stop it. So, but that's their choice. They got to say it. I just don't like hearing it. I just have to just walk away and get on with it. Oh gosh, this isn't looking too good. Maybe I have to go back and forth and blending in both areas. So this is going to take a long time for me, unfortunately. This is the downside of trying to figure out how things work. If it doesn't work out, it's like I'm not liking this, and I had to like dabble here and there and try to figure out what suits this project. There's no guarantee it'll always look the best. I don't have the best. Most times it's good, but there's always something like this where like, well, this is kind of, but if it's yucky, I guess I can just paint over it. But be careful of the chunkiness. However, the chunkiness works in my favor. Like I mentioned, it can make this a lot less smooth, a lot less fake looking. So I can accept that I can make a lot of mistakes on this project at least, but I cannot do that for other projects for sure, especially like on canvas, and so on. I wish I sound like I knew what I was doing. 32 minutes. Okay. I don't have it. No, there was that. No, I don't want that reddish brown. I don't want that. But I still like skinny jeans more. I think that suits my body type a lot better than baggy, wide leg jeans because I'm a little thick in the middle, and so it kind of makes the rest of my body type of with the wide leg pants look like tree trunks. And so that's why I was like, oh god. So even if I do wear it, let's just see it still looks like tree trunks. But if I shut that part of my brain off, then it's okay. But there was one instance when I was trying another pair of those pants, I almost tripped. And so it's a slight safety hazard. So I have to be careful when I wear these things, the downsides of being short. So yeah, that was my overall thing with those baggy pants. And I also, once in a while is okay, but I also don't want to wear that too much. It just reminds me of those times when I was young, and I don't like remembering those times just because I was full of shit back then. Let's see what I got so far. Not so good, I guess. Let's take a breather from this guy and go back to the... Oh, actually, it's not too bad. Okay. I was looking at a different angle, and one angle looks awful. Now I switch it to full front. It's like, oh, okay, never mind. It's all right. It's all right. Back to this. Oh, wait, this one did not open. Good. Okay, so I need to go back to here and figure, okay, where do I continue? I can go, oh no, it's like here. Okay, so I paint the underside. Whoa, okay. This side, I don't really have to worry too much. Like, oh, you should just, no, I don't care that much. Even if I do paint over it and I do decide maybe I want to clean it up, I can still paint over it. It's not that big of a deal when it's the bottom. Sorry. And so I'm going to still paint over it with the varnish. That's totally fine. But if you don't want that, you want everything to be clean and precise, you do that on your own pumpkin, okay? This is mine, you get yours. Then you can decide whether or not you do what you want. And you can. No pressure at all. Okay. Let's see what's going on here. What's that? Oh, okay. Do I have any? Oh, I do have a few art prompt pages that I started on, I think. I don't have I only have one, technically two, but the main one is near completion. I can show that one and then I guess talk about it a little, I guess. Excuse me. Yes, please bear in mind that prior to making these live stream videos in general, or even the talking video back on Instagram, I never necessarily talked about my art, like my processes, like what I was thinking, coming up with these projects, because a lot of it is fan art. I see what other people make and I like, oh, I like that. Can I copy it? But it's not like I sell it. Okay. I just do it for fun, for practice, to see if I can do it and if there is some kind of spin I can take on it. Usually not, but I just do it for fun and it's okay. For fun and practice is fine. I always have to emphasize it because nowadays art theft is quite rampant. And I just want to clarify that I'm not stealing and making a profit. I just love your art and I want to see if I can, what I can do with it. Either I just practice and see if it's okay, or I have my own little take on it. That's basically it. So I tend to give as much of that disclaimer as possible, or if anyone has questions about it, I'm more than happy to clarify a few things, because I'm usually not good at just saying out every single detail about my work, because I don't really have the experience explaining about my process. So I will forget a lot. I'm not used to that kind of attention to my work. It's just like, oh, that's so nice. And then they like, how long did it take you to draw? Okay, I can answer that. And then, is it free? No. And so, those are the basic surface, superficial levels of conversation I'll have with my work. And then that's it. I don't have like, oh, what did you think of the blah, blah, blah? Like, what art history did you participate, influenced you to do? You know, I don't ask me any of that. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Okay. I make what I like. That's basically the low key mantra in my head. It's like, I like that. Let me try it. It's that simple. I don't make it complicated than it already should. Okay, this one. What I like about doing a top coat, I don't have to think as much. It's like, oh, I just do this. That's it. I don't have to think about, okay, I have to draw this, make sure this makes sense. Does that look correct? Oh, it does not look correct. I don't have to think as much. It's nice to not have to think so much. So I do enjoy making top coat things without being like, oh God, what do I do next? What do I do next? Is this not working? Oh, it's not working. So there are cases like now, like these little area bubbles that happen because I painted over the first prior layer. And now these weird zit bubbles are popping up. Since it's on the bottom, again, meh. And it's for no one, again, meh. However, say I were to make this for someone, that's when I have to take it seriously. I have to make sure I may buy slightly better quality materials, or I will make sure everything is more tightened up and sturdy. But again, because it's handmade, there is a risk of it being more easy to break in transit or in your in your ownership. Just bear that in mind, because I feel like people assume because, oh, you do handmade things, it must be sturdy. That's exceptions are jewelry. Jewelry is quite sturdy. Crochet work can be quite done well if done properly, um, especially with the materials used and the methods to tie everything together, or knit everything together, mind you, or crochet rather. For me, it's a lot more difficult because I don't have any of those things. I just do flat paintings. But then one thing I tried to dabble in was polymer clay. And I had trial and error projects where I tried to make keychains and try to sell them. But then when I make one, do have a trial version attached to my to my bag or keychain, and then after a day, I come back, look down at my bag. Where is my charm? Where did it go? It flew off at some point. And then I was mortified that my work that I worked hard on, shut up. It flew off at some point and I wasn't paying attention. And I don't want that for my customers. And then they start complaining, giving bad reviews. So that's on my terms. That's my fault. And so I did try to have an Etsy store for that, but when I realized a lot of my projects were flying off the keychain pin, I had to close it down because I did not want customers losing the projects on the road. I think the only other exception, like you can make it as a small ornament for a small decorative tree or some other, or collecting charms. That's the best thing I could figure. Like that's what you do it with. Don't have it as a necklace. Don't have it as a charm. If you do, just keep it at home. So like what? I did not want that. So I had to close down that shop, unfortunately. Okay, so this side is basically okay. I gotta put your bulbous booty somewhere. Oh my gosh. Where to put you? The other side's also kind of wet too. Good to know. I don't know where to put you. And if I do make a mess of it, I have to make sure I clean it up. Goodness. And he had an accident. Someone's incontinent today. And also, I feel bad that was a waste of glaze, but I can't do much about that. Okay, now back to 42 minutes. Okay. So back to this guy. Yeah, I'm going back and forth between pumpkins. Also, before I get to that, I am planning to paint over. Can you roll your head to the side, please? Thank you. So I may start to. Where'd y'all go? Anyway, I will start working on. I got this. If you can tell, I go to Target a lot. But then, yeah, I want to paint over these ice cream skull cone thingies. I thought these are kind of cool. But I noticed the ice cream looks very plasticky, like you can tell. But these looked a lot interesting to try to customize. I will see if I can put something. Do I have to sand it? I don't want to because that's a lot more, but it will help the paint adhere more to the surface rather than a smooth surface. So I don't know. We will see, but I would like to paint both of these somehow. We'll see. I don't know yet. Because sometimes I have a good idea and then the idea just sucks when I try to execute it, unfortunately. So anyway, yeah. Did I use? Oh, I used this one. Anything else going on lately? I'm trying to think because a whole bunch of things are happening, and by the time I can sit down and settle and then recollect, okay, what happened these past few days? My mind is exhausted. And I was like, what? I was so tired while I was helping my kid with his homework. I was dozing off, but I had to make sure he was reading. So I was still awake. Just my eyes were just drooping over. I was like that exhausted. Oh, also I will try to paint over one of these because I bought two and I like the colors, but I might do a different color scheme or make a slightly brighter version. I don't know yet. Anyway, shut up. Let's paint. Okay, here. Did I put it? Oh my god. I don't want to drink varnish. I'll be upset. I don't want to call poison control. so glad I got most of those annoying bills that I had to pay for done. Oh my god, those drove me insane. I will not delve into the details about that, but I'm just glad they're done. I only have like I'm pretty sure one more, and then this one was kind of stubborn. I don't want to get into that either, but I have one more bill that I know of to pay off, and then the usual monthly bills, and that is probably later in a week or two. So why do we have bills? They're so stupid. I know what they're used for, but at the same time, I'm like, man, if I didn't have to pay bills, I'd be a bajillionaire. Shoot. And then I heard from one of my family members yesterday. They were visiting for another family member's birthday. And that was really cool. I haven't seen them in a long time. Or when I do see them, they're busy with the other relatives. And it's hard for me to jump into the conversation. As I mentioned, I am quite introverted. So for me to be like, hey, how's life? It's so stupid. And so, but sometimes that is the approach. Because that was actually one of the questions is, oh, what's been going on with you lately? So I would ask like that. And then we were catching up on things. And then I would also ask about their family. And then also just some small advice sort of things after certain events have happened. And we would exchange our art stuff. They're also good at art too. They're interested in it. It's just they are super busy with life that it's kind of hard for them to sit in one place and to do the art. But I know they have the talent to do more art things. It's just life is hectic late off and on, so I don't try to pressure them. Just like when you do have free time and you are able to, by all means, take advantage while you can. Because when you don't make time for your art stuff and you let other things take over, and it's reasonable, life does that to you. But then if you don't make any time, even when you have free time and you have to finish all your daily chores and catch up on cleaning up and this and that, and then you finally have free time, then you got to go sleep, So I understand why not everyone can do art as much as I can. I think for me, I have to. If I don't, I don't know. I think I start thinking way too much more than I should. So thinking is not always a bad thing, obviously. It's just sometimes I have to keep making something with my hands, or I get really lazy and I don't want to do it at all. Because I can also succumb to that. I can be like, I don't feel like doing any art today. And it can go on for years if I'm not careful. And I can be like that if I chose to. But I like art way too much to be like that. Because even after some years where I almost gave up on drawing, which I mentioned that has happened, just something about it drew me back in. And I realized it's the only thing I'm good at. So yeah, it's like I might as well keep doing it. What was that? I'm debating whether or not I can add extra texture. This smoothness, you can see how smooth this pumpkin is. That's what makes it look a lot more fake, I believe. Whereas here, I added some glue by accident. I think I was trying to make it drip and then just got flat. Even something like this, it makes it a little bit more, I hate using the terms organic. It sounds so pretentious. But it does have a more bumpy, more textured feel to it that I feel is a lot more realistic compared to here, where it's like plastic smooth, but I've yet to figure out how to do that properly without making it look too gross and chunky. There's always a balance to everything. Okay. This is so funny. I talk this much about art where in real life, I don't talk shit. I just and I'm watching things in the background. But I feel like if I do that on a live stream, even if there's nobody around, I feel like I'm wasting your time, because to see me doing things in real time and I'm not talking, it is the absolute most boring ass thing ever. For me, I think it is, because it's one thing where I'm by myself, no one gives a shit. It's fine. But then when there's people involved in looking at what I do, then you kind of have to jazz it up a smidge. I'm not talking about like wearing like a semi-formal ball gown and a tiara and do this. But if you do that, that's on you. make sure you don't get paint on that stuff, because I don't think that stuff's cheap. But yeah, I just try to be a little bit more entertaining. And then I realized, oh, it's kind of funny talking like this sometimes. But off camera, I'm definitely not like this at all. I'm just like watching things, helping my family out, and I have to come back and paint, resume my painting, go to the bathroom, look at something stupid, laugh at it, and continue painting. That's basically it. Nothing special here. $50 minutes. Okay, I have like 10 more to go. I hope I didn't spill varnish in my milk. I regret putting it. Oh, you idiot. Why did I put it there? Of all places, you stupid. Go over there. And watch me move it there, and then something stupid happens. That's the kind of luck I got, where I try to be preventative and stupid shit happens anyway. My life. My life. Okay. Well, since there's nobody there, I cannot talk as much. That's fine. And then when someone shows up, oh, I gotta talk. But then they just dip on out. So I'm like, well, shit, you know? I did ask my kid, can I paint this another color besides? No, it has to be orange. He does have a set standard. He may be kind of shy with what he wants to say, but when it comes to what he wants in certain things, he is very selective, and he has a set way of wanting. I want that, and that's it. Don't change it. Why did you change it? You know, like one time I showed up to school, I didn't wear socks, and he would check my feet. Did you put on socks today? And I'm like, I did. Oh wait, I didn't. but but sometimes I don't follow what he wants. Yeah, he'll tell me how to dress. That's funny. But I don't take that too seriously. I'd be like, I wear what I want, okay? But, you know, some parents will cater to their child way too much and be like, okay, I'll wear the socks. Sometimes I am. It depends on my mood. If I'm in a good mood or I'm trying to humor him, okay, fine. But sometimes if I'm just tired of wearing the same thing, I'll wear whatever the hell I want. And if you have a problem with that, you can stay home. I go out, you know. Okay, fine. You know. Oh, did anyone hear the passing of James Earl Jones? I was like, oh my gosh, Mufasa, no. I know he's other voices, but yeah. I was like, oh man. Well, he was 93. That's quite old. So yeah. Well, as long as he's peaceful at this point, that's all right. But he was really funny and, you know, multi-talented in his voice acting and actual acting. And then I think at least 2 other people died also in either voice or acting. And I was like, oh, sheesh, it's just boom, 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 one after the other. Then a few weeks ago, I found out like 2 40-something-year-olds, I don't know who they are, but they died and they're like near my age and stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? So it just seems like almost people are dropping down. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's like, what? All I want, what's going on? And I just, well, yeah, age happens. Okay, I think I will wrap it up for this, and then I will talk a little bit about that one page I have for that art prompt, for that create this book art prompt that I will try to get back to that, but it's gonna take a while because especially if I decide on something and I thought, oh, it's not so bad, and then it takes way longer than it should. That's why I don't really want to do like a create this book series, because there's no guarantee with what I want to do will be within the time frame before Wednesday. And plus sometimes surprise things happen and I can't control it and then I'm late. So I don't want to be like that. So I will just once in a while give you an update and then have a reel. If there is a demand for me to doing an actual create this book video, like a legit video, feel free to let me know in the comments or DMs if you actually watched this far. Yeah, I should have said this earlier, but I changed my mind. It just came to mind. So, okay, I think this is what I'm going to end for this pumpkin here. It is quite poopy. It looks scary, I think. I am also debating whether or not I paint the inside also kind of brown because it looks too clean inside. And they left, and that's how it is nowadays. So yeah, I may also consider adding more glue strands to the pumpkin teeth. The few that I have, some of them already broke off. Oh no, one or two broke off, and then I might add more. The only thing is the glue I use is this sucker here, so it has a smell. So if it has a strong smell and you don't like strong smells like I do, take it outside, hopefully in a trusted, secure area that no one goes around snatching your things. And you should wait several hours for the smell to totally go. I think that is the most effective because it's outside in the air. So yeah, not too bad. Okay. Where do I put you now? Okay. Oh, it looks pretty good actually. I wasn't thinking that far. Yeah, this one is still wet. This bulbous booty here. Okay. So this is not too bad. Sorry, I'm not doing it properly. Yes, this is actually a self-portrait of me. It was, I forgot, Dan Mumford. I think that's the original artist, but I put my face in it because I thought it was kind of cool. And then I added extra things because it was not all of it was his. I added extra work, and I was like, how far along can I make this stretch out? It was pretty long for this big, bulky dude here. And I will try to make maybe a more updated video, reel for this, or just to show that it's still good. It's still good. See, it's all over the place. My gosh. I love this so much, but how I made this sometimes, I like, how the hell did I do this? So weird. But yeah, this was a lot of fun to do. It was overwhelming initially, but as everything came together and it became more fun, I thought, okay, I can do this. And so I did. Okay. Blah, blah, blah. Let's get on with this one. So I think I only did one page. I don't know if you want to see the other ones. They're just meh for me. So yeah. What the hell? Why is there crumbs on here? So this was on the page, create whatever. Use this page to create anything you want. And I just decided to play it safe and chose Ixer 2 kidnapping Ixer. Not Ixer. She was kidnapping Nagisa from Go Ixer 1. And she has her henchman, I think his name is Bluba. They had the weirdest names back then. And yet I struggled with this one more than those pumpkins, funny enough. I thought that was kind of funny that I struggled more with this than the pumpkins that I was showing to you. Though the other one involved carving, maybe that one takes a higher tier. But yeah, I started working on this, but then I started to get into the butt crack of the book. I don't think that's the crease, butt crack, whatever. And then I have to start working on this guy, but then I got distracted with the pumpkin carving and Halloween decorations and that's what's been going on lately. Plus I need to fix her ear. This one is a little bit off. And I realized some parts are slightly off from the original reference, but I don't have to make it total carbon copy. I was just wanting to have some nice fan art that was delayed for several months. So yeah, and then I had a boo-boo here. So yeah. Other pages I want to do, well, I have to make sure I can actually do it. And oh my god, what, I know there's a prompt here and I forgot what I did. Oh, these two. I used markers and then I tried to seal it with Mod Podge. It did not work well. Like, this got really faded. I'm kind of debating whether or not I use regular paint for here again, but then I have to do lines. And then this one, oh, it's kind of cute, but it's just okay. I do like her pattern more than this one, but I like this one's overall picture. Blah. And then I drew that dude Inuyashiki from the anime Inuyashiki. I like him, but I noticed like I don't like this one too much, but the original reference, his face is so smooth for an old guy. So I might try to tweak it a little bit later. Still have the original face, but then add more wrinkles somehow. I'll do some reference pictures of old guys and see how, because I sometimes don't pay attention to the mechanisms of facial muscles, especially when it comes to age. So yeah, and I so cute. And then I don't like how this I'm pretty sure I used the Copic marker knockoffs, and it bled here, and here. My god, I don't like this. And camera, please cooperate. Cooperate, please. Please. I beg of you. Por favor. It's like, no, even if you try to go into another language, I don't comply. Okay, now I do. Okay, so I also had plans for this one, but thankfully the line art's nice, but yeah, the stupid marker ink, it went onto here, and so I thankfully can paint over this. So that is a relief. It's just I'm lazy, and so yeah. Anything else that I can show that is okay? Okay, I think that is it actually. And like I mentioned before, I may try to do an updated version of this because I love this painting, but I kind of regret putting it on as a cover. This was way more ambitious than I anticipated, and yeah. Also, I found this in the living room. I can show this before I wrap things up. I am obsessed with this pig. So I had painted, I think, a paper mache egg. The sweet tooth prevails. I thought this was so cute. Very, very cute. Yep, very, very cute. I enjoy this so much. You can go over there. And then I also made a ghost version. It's not very good, but like I tried to use gauze for like the ghost costume and tied a little twine ribbon. It's a bit off, but I still like it. I think it's really cute. Like, he's trying his best, but his costume's not the greatest, and it's like, yeah. Then a while ago, like I mentioned, I was really big, not really big, but like I was a little bit interested in felt sheet ornaments. This was one of, well, I have better ones. I'll show later. I showed them before on Instagram, but I don't think I shown enough of them here. So this one is, again, Zachiki Buddha in a pumpkin overall outfit. This is freakishly cute. But I think I could do this a lot better if he was a lot more chubbier. I would have loved that a lot more. Plus, I think something about the eyes, it did not work well for me. So I'm debating whether or not I try to do an updated version of this, but I have to draw a sketch out. I think the original reference, he was pretty chubby, but for some reason when I tried to make this into an actual ornament, he lost some weight. Somewhere along the way, he lost some weight, did some gains, and he has a nice little body with a big booty now. But yeah, what the heck is that? But I am deciding whether or not I would actually do it, just because, yeah, it gets busy. And I can do a dark version. That is also possible. Like, also like that one neon kitty thing that Sanrio had for Halloween a few years ago. I can do that. So that is a possibility. And I like this little bell thing. Very, very cute. So, okay. What did we do? So I was working on 2 big-ass pumpkins. I showed some crafts and an update of the Create This book while rambling about recent things going on and some slight, I don't know if it's considered advice because everyone does not have the same experiences. Like, they got work in the way. They have illnesses. They have art is a career, and I cannot say my method will work for other people, but if you just want this as like a hobby, something for a break, then by all means, I would say pursue it and all that good stuff. Okay, I am tired. I want to eat the rest of the scones and hope I didn't put varnish in my milk. I'll be so upset. So thank you for having me. I will see you again next Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Again, I am Delion. Take care. See you next time. Bye-bye.